the war in Ukraine,
That's right.
calling for peace and diplomacy.
Yeah, and I thought it was really interesting how, on the topic of migration, he's quoted as saying,
Oh, yeah.
"We must see in every migrant."
Welcome to Bookhaven.
Okay, so today we're diving into something pretty unique, and I'm excited about this one. We're talking about Pope Francis,
Okay.
and get this, his autobiography. It's actually the first time
Yeah.
a sitting pope has published one
Crazy.
ever.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild. So we've got some excerpts from like an article
Okay.
announcing, the release of the book to work from today.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm excited to hear about this.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's certainly unprecedented, right?
Absolutely.
Like the fact that it's a personal narrative
Yeah.
from Pope Francis as opposed to, like a theological text or a papal encyclical or
Well,
something.
that's what makes it so fascinating, right?
Yes.
A totally different perspective.
And it's called Hope, the autobiography. It's coming up very soon.
Very cool.
What really jumps out, at least from the article, is just how much ground this book covers.
Yeah.
It's not just about, his time as Pope.
Right.
It's his whole life story from childhood to the papacy, which is just incredible.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah. Like, I'm super fascinated by the mention of his family's Italian roots, their migration to Argentina, and his upbringing in Buenos Aires.
It's a pretty unique background for a pope, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, that's not exactly your typical, path to the papacy.
Got it all.
So it's interesting. And it kind of speaks to,
Yeah,
that
that global
the
perspective.
global nature of his perspective, I think. And he brings a different lens to the papacy,
Absolutely.
for sure. And speaking of interesting, you mentioned that
Yeah.
the Pope tackles some pretty big, really big issues in this book.
He does, yeah. Big issues
Yeah.
head on, too.
Yeah. War, peace, migration, the environment. That's a wide range of topics,
That's
right?
a huge range. And from what we've seen in these excerpts, he's not shying away from any of it
No.
or like getting into the specifics either. He even directly addresses the war in Ukraine,
That's right.
calling for peace and diplomacy.
Yeah, and I thought it was really interesting how, on the topic of migration, he's quoted as saying,
Oh, yeah.
"We must see in every migrant a brother or sister seeking a better life." Talk about a call for empathy.
Absolutely. A call to action. Even that really reflects his focus on social justice.
Absolutely.
Which we've seen throughout, his time as Pope.
Exactly.
So it's interesting to see that come through so strongly here.
Yeah. I'm curious, how do you think he frames these issues?
Well, I think
Given-
the background.
Given his background and his, kind of his position and everything.
Yeah, it's a good question.
What really stood out to you from the source material? Like what was something that you were like, whoa?
I think one of the things that really struck me was his discussion of technology.
Oh, interesting.
He acknowledges that there's potential benefits, of course.
Right.
But he also warns against its misuse.
Okay.
And particularly the potential, for technology to make inequality worse.
Yeah.
He's even quoted as saying, technology must serve humanity, not enslave it.
Wow.
It's a pretty powerful statement,
Yeah.
right? Like, even with all these challenges, we have a choice
Yeah,
in how we use these tools.
absolutely. It's a good reminder.
It is, yeah.
I was particularly drawn to, I don't know why, but the description of the book as offering a legacy of hope.
I think that's an important part of it.
Yeah.
What do you make of that,
Yeah, what do you...
given everything else we've talked about?
Yeah, what do you think? Given his journey, his reflections on these issues,
Well,
his call for a more just and compassionate world.
yeah, I think it's the thread that ties everything together.
Okay.
It's his personal journey. It's his reflections on these global issues. It's his hope for a more just and compassionate world.
Right.
It's all presented through this lens of hope.
That's
Not a naive hope,
Right,
but
yeah.
one rooted in his faith and
Right.
lived experience,
Yeah.
So it's a very powerful...
That's a really powerful idea.
Yeah.
It's not just a memoir. It's almost like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
roadmap or
Absolutely. It's a guide.
a guide for the future.
A vision for the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with the inclusion of these unpublished photographs
Oh, right.
and personal materials, he's offering a glimpse into his life
Yeah.
that goes beyond the official Vatican portrait.
A more intimate look.
Totally, yeah.
For sure.
Okay, so to recap, we've got the first ever autobiography from a sitting pope.
It's huge.
A unique, really unique life story.
Yeah.
A deep dive into some really heavy global issues from a moral and spiritual perspective. And this message of hope for the future.
It's pretty remarkable.
Yeah. I mean, this is pretty remarkable stuff. This is big.
It really is. And I think, it raises a really important question for anyone listening, given how unprecedented this is.
Yeah.
What kind of impact do you think this is going to have on the Catholic Church and the world?
The world at large.
Yeah.
That's a great question to ponder. Let us know what you think and, keep exploring this topic. It's definitely one worth thinking about.
It is.
Okay, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for listening.
Thanks.
And we'll see you next time.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Grab Hope, the autobiography by Pope Francis and Jorge Mario Bergoglio, now on sale for just $25.26. Don't miss this chance to build good habits and achieve remarkable results. Click pre-order now today.
Like and subscribe for more Bookhaven podcasts.